finally saw Mount Everest with my own eyes, I was absolutely captured by it. I've been waiting for that moment ever since learning about the 14 peaks. Hi, I'm Andres Gaman, and I've always had a big interest in big mountain mountaineering and the 14 peaks. I've done a lot of research on the Himalayas, and even got to see the Himalayas Museum in Nepal. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because most people know about Mount Everest, but they don't really know about the other mountains and the whole mountaineering culture and what it takes to climb up to them. So in this speech, I'm going to inform you about what it takes to climb an 8,000 meter, about the mountains themselves, and mountaineering history. So first, let's present the mountains. Of course, the tallest is Everest. It's 8,848 meters, 29,000 feet. Next, you have K2, then you have Kachinjunga, then Lhotse, Makula, Choyo, Dhaulagiri, Manusla, Nangma Parbat, Annapurna, Gasherbrum, Broad Peak, Gasherbrum 2. And then the smallest is Shishapangma, which is 8,000 meters, which is about 26,285 feet. And next, how did they come to exist? Well, they came to exist because as a result of tectonic plate movements that happened about like 50 million years ago, which formed the Himalayas. This mountain range extends from Bhutan, Nepal, India, China, and Pakistan, and it was created through the collision of the Indian plate with the Eurasian plate back in Pangea. So of course, these mountains are 28,000 feet at its highest, 26,000 at its lowest. They present incredible dangers, and the first danger I'm going to tell you about is altitude sickness. The higher you climb, the thinner the air becomes, so it leads to lessening oxygen availability, which can cause altitude sickness, but it can also cause hallucinations, which is called HAPE and HACE, and a lot of people have gotten lost due to this. Also, next is extreme weather. Obviously, when you're up 28,000 feet, like, it's going to be extremely cold, which temperatures are going to be well below freezing. There's going to be fierce winds, snowstorms, and whiteout conditions that make it very hard to see. Next, you have avalanches, which is one of the biggest dangers. A lot of climbers have died due to this. Since they're so steep, avalanches happen all the time, and because of the weather. Next, you have crevices. There's crevices all over the mountain, which is why you need a Sherpa to put down the ladders and help you climb them, and it's very easy to fall. You can also just slip and fall anytime in the mountain because it's so steep. So if you just lose your grip, you're gonna fall. You're gonna keep on falling. Next is exhaustion and frostbite. Once you're climbing at 28,000 feet, like, you don't have any air, you're gonna be exhausted. And also frostbite, super cold. A lot of climbers get frostbite. And then next thing is summit fever, which is like, because these people have paid so much money to get up there, they're not gonna want to leave without reaching the summit, which makes people push beyond their limits, which can lead to horrible decisions and consequences. And next, I'm going to tell you about what you need to climb. So, of course, you need training, extensive training. Climbing at 8,000 meter mountains, no joke. You're going to need to train your lungs, acclimate yourself, which can be done through climbing other mountains and also doing the treks to get up to that altitude when your body gets used to it. Next, you're going to need Sherpas, which is extremely important. They're really like called the legends of the mountains. Without them, you wouldn't be able to climb. They bring up your food, climbing supplies. They have a bunch of knowledge about the mountains themselves. They know when to leave, when to not leave. They set up ropes, set up the ladders, and and they bring up your stuff. Like, you're not carrying anything, but they are. Without them, it would be impossible. Next, you're gonna need money. Like, climbing in these mountains is not free. It can cost about from $30,000 to $100,000 depending on the peak. You need permits, climbing equipment, Sherpa, stays, transportation. So yeah, it's not cheap at all. And then I'm going to tell you about the history about these mountains. The first person to climb all 14 peaks is Reinhold Messner. I think it was Eastern European. I think he might have been Romanian. I'm not actually really sure. But he completed the achievement in 1986 when he reached La Haute, which is and he climbed all the 14 peaks without oxygen, which is without supplemental oxygen, which is incredible. And yeah, following Mesmer, there's a bunch of people that have reached the 14 peaks with oxygen and without oxygen, but without his like groundwork for it, I don't think it would have been able to happen. He also like established a bunch of ropes, and yeah, like back then in 1986, there wasn't a lot on those mountains. There wasn't a lot of Sherpas. There wasn't any knowledge about him. So it's just an incredible feat. And then recently, you have Nims Purha, which is a Nepali mountaineer who he served in the Gurkhas, which is a special force in Nepal. And then after that, he joined the special forces in England. He was actually the first Nepali to ever join the special forces. And he was born in 1983, and he did it in 6 months. I believe he started in 2020, and he did the feat in 6 months with oxygen, of course. Without oxygen, it would have been impossible, but still, 6 months. It's incredible. 6 months, 6 days to do it. But yeah, he really set out to do his journey because he believed that a lot of Nepalis weren't getting the recognition that they deserved. So he assembled this full Nepali team, and he said that I'm gonna film myself and I'm gonna show the world the skills that the Nepalis have and the Sherpas have, and to just bring attention towards the Sherpas and how vital they are to mountaineering in the Himalayas themselves. And yeah, in conclusion, I told you about the mountains. Then I told you about what you need to climb, and then lastly, the people who have climbed and the mountaineering history about the Himalayas. And I'm gonna leave you with a Reinhold Messner quote. The quote is, "I didn't go up there to die. I went up there to live." And yeah, thank you.